It's the mom life.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Living in the Moment with B.
And Steph, hello friend.
Hello.
New
So
location unlocked.
yeah, I noticed that. I saw your background. I was like, I wasn't sure if it was the first location because you had pillows, but it is definitely a different location. I can
Everyone
tell.
will just see space by space me moving around my house.
Her whole house. You're gonna see her whole house in snippets.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, full disclosure, y'all, I just got back from watching Wicked, and it's a must see. Like, it
Yay,
is such
I
a good
want to see
movie.
it.
I cried like 4 different times, and my eyes, if they look sad or they're bloodshot red, I mean, I put eye drops, right? Because we're filming. But oh my God, it is such a good movie.
I wouldn't expect it to be like a tearjerker. I guess I don't really know what it's about, but I do want to see it.
I think just, well, I don't want to give too much away, but just the feeling of a feeling like you don't belong. And so there's a lot of heartache in that, just
Yeah.
in the character. And I'm not a huge Ariana fan as far as acting, but I think just because she was younger than I was, so I didn't catch on to that. But wow, I was so impressed with the entire movie. Like 12 out of 10. It is so good. So if you haven't seen it, and I feel like it's coming out soon, right? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, because I want to see it too. But we're just gonna have to watch it at home. So I'm pretty sure it comes out for rental and like, on Prime or whatever, like next weekend.
See, and we couldn't find the date. And so my mom, my sister, and I went. It was a girls' day. It was
Oh,
nice.
cute. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it
nice.
was super cute, but we couldn't find the date. So we're like, let's just go see it.
Well, that's
And
nicer anyway. Get snacks, get to chill. You
yeah,
don't have
well,
to pause it every 2 seconds.
right. I miss JJ like crazy though. This is the first time I was away from him for like 4 consecutive hours. And maybe
Ever?
that's why I was crying. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I guess other than working, but he's downstairs. But
Yeah. No,
yeah,
that's actually crazy. He's two. That's
he's two. I
yeah.
know. And I literally was like, I regret this because so when we were leaving real quick,
I shouldn't have come.
damn you, popcorn. But when we were leaving, I was getting ready and he noticed. So he started following me around and crying and he ran to grab his shoes. I put his shoes on and my husband's
Oh.
like, just get him ready. I'll take him to the store. He won't know the difference. But I sat him and
Yeah.
while he was waiting for me to finish getting ready, I snuck out and I'm like, oh my God, I betrayed him. It was, yeah.
Speaking of that, I told you already, but we've been having issues again with Maddie sleeping. And we just went to the doctor yesterday, actually, for her 15-month checkup. And the doctor did say that he thinks part of it is separation anxiety because as they get older, like when they're little, they don't know the difference. You're there, you're not there. But as they get older, they start to realize, like, I know my mom, she's usually here. Now she's not here. And they're like thinking about you when you're not around. So yeah, it kind of ties
you're
in.
their safe space. That's what I
Yeah.
say. And so and JJ loves his dad. His dad is so good with him, but I am hands down his safe space. So if I'm not around,
Yeah.
that kid is. And so by the time I got home, which is not too long ago, he was taking his nap. He just woke up and I'm like, oh God, I hope he doesn't hear me filming because he's gonna lose it. So
Oh, he'll come. Yeah. He's like,
so
mom's home.
we're making it quick, folks.
Yeah. Well, we are diving into New Year's week, guys. I love New Year's. Do you? I know it's like pretty divided as far as opinions go. Are you a New Year's lover or a hater?
I'm a lover. I'm a lover of all holidays. This is again another corporate holiday, but I do love just the fresh. It feels like you're tearing. Well, I don't want to say you're tearing a page off a book, but it feels like a new start. This is a
It
new
really
chapter,
does.
y'all.
I think so too. I love the feeling of the new year. Even though realistically when you think about it, like what is a year? What are days? Every day is just
What
like
is
we could just
time?
go on and on. Yeah, exactly. Like what, we wouldn't know the difference had we not had a calendar right in front of us. But no, I think it's awesome too. I love
It
it.
it's a good way to just reset the mind, and we do it as a community because almost everyone does it, right? And it's good. It pushes you for your goals and it pushes you to lift yourself up if you're down, right? This is a new start. And so I am all about it. I will jump into, obviously, I feel like everyone has this New Year's resolution, but exercise is on the
Yeah,
top of my
mine's on
list.
there. Move more. Yeah.
Yeah, mine is definitely get back to where I was. So in the beginning of the year, I had such a huge transformation. I lost 40 pounds. I have slowly started gaining a little weight back. So I definitely want to get back to focusing on my health and my exercise and my eating. I want to get rid of the sugar and some other things, some carbs, heavy carbs. And so that's a huge priority going into the new year, especially because I'm still pushing my husband to expand our family.
Yeah.
And so health when you want to get pregnant is super top priority.
Yeah.
So that's where I am with I don't want to say that's my topmost, but I feel like that is a reset that almost everyone does, right? I feel like all the gyms are packed the first month and everyone's on a diet. And
I just saw a commercial actually before I came up here, and it was it said that most people quit their New Year's resolution by the second Friday, I think, of the year, and it even has a name. It's Quitting Day, I guess, and it's like the commercial's like, Google it, it's real, it's Quitting Day. And granted, this was a commercial for like a Garmin watch or like some type of watch to like keep you on track, but no, I thought that was interesting. 2 weeks in, and most people quit because, yeah, the feeling of freshness is fun, but it's hard to stay disciplined. We've been talking about a sugar detox for 4 months already. We're just like everyone else. It is difficult to start something and stick to it. So
I also think it lies heavily on the day of the week that it lands on, right? So like nobody wants to start on a Monday, and nobody wants to start in the middle of the week, and nobody wants to start at the end of the week because you want to party and still enjoy. And you're like, oh, I'll start Monday. And no one ever starts Monday. So I always start the Tuesday after the new year.
You do always choose Tuesdays to start things.
I hate Mondays. And so that's why we do this show.
I don't mind the feeling of a Monday, but yeah, you do.
I hate Mondays.
Yeah, you do always start things on Tuesday.
I do. I'm a Tuesday girl. I'm like, nope, because I wake up Monday and I'm like, yep, time to work, clock in. Ugh. It's just not a good feeling for me. I'm freaking Garfield at its fullest. I'm the reincarnated woman version of Garfield. And so
this week too especially is rough, so I feel like
with being off or during the week, right?
Yeah. And just the week between Christmas and New Year's always feels really weird. Like, what day is it? Who am I? What do I do? Whether you're working or not, like I did work this week, so it added maybe a little bit of structure. But still, I thought today, like last night, I felt like today was Monday. Like, it completely throws you off. You're eating like crap. Like, we've been living off tamales and Christmas cookies. So I can see too how that ties into like everyone wanting a fresh start for the new year.
Oh yeah, you're so full. You're like swollen and inflated, and because it's gluttony, right? Like that's what the holidays are, and that's okay. We can give ourselves that, but then we do have to reset, guys. Like it's super important. I was going to ask you a quick question though, going from the holidays. Is your Christmas tree still up? That has been such a big question.
Yeah, really. Well, really, and again, I was not like decorating was not my top priority this year. There was a lot of stuff that I didn't take out because I just didn't have time or energy to do it. So I didn't even do it. The kids set up the Christmas trees this year. Yeah. And they did a really good job. They came out really nice, but no, same thing. Taking it down is not at the top of my list. So it'll get done when it gets done. They're not, in the way. They're not bothering me. So
I like to keep the festive feel, like at least till the second week of January. Like it has to pass. You have to pass New Year, right? Like there's a lot of people that actually take their trees down, but I'm like, what? That's
it's
like
nice
the holiday
to have it up
spirit.
for New Year, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And all the movies, you see like Christmas trees still up when everyone's celebrating, and all the Christmas lights and stuff. So
yeah, I like to have my tree up for Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I do like to have it up for Thanksgiving. I agree.
They're just so close together. Like I'm telling you, we do not have a break. It's like back to back to back to back. Especially once you're a parent and you work full time, it's never ending. And so.
And realistically, you only get your tree up, for 1 month a year. So why not, to give it as long as you possibly can, if that's a few extra weeks.
Right. And there's also those though that will keep it on all year. And,
I've never met anyone that does that.
You have, yes, they do. What is it called? It has a specific name, but they basically celebrate it and they decorate it per the season.
Okay,
so like 4th of July.
I have seen the seasonal trees. Yeah, that's
there you go. Maybe that's what it's. So like they have different ornaments for like the summer, the spring, Easter. Like that's too much, y'all. I think
that takes away from the specialness of having the Christmas tree.
But for the winter season. Yeah, we're not hating.
We're not saying. We're just saying. Yeah.
We wouldn't do it, but do you, boo boo?
True. Let's see. What else is on your list?
I have, I said I'm going to focus on my family, exercising. I also have a lot of little projects coming out next year. I don't want to make any announcements because I thought they were going to come out this year and they didn't. And so we're going to push it next year. I'll hold
labor of love, a lot of work.
Yes, I have so many little things going on. And so I am looking forward to expanding on things that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah, totally. So, part of that is on mine too. Podcast wise, we haven't discussed this. We've discussed in the past, but not for the new year. But to work on our website, we have wanted to launch a website to like keep recipes and like little blogs and, just
and keep us connected, everyone.
Yeah. Just another way to stay exactly that connected with everyone. So that's on my list to hopefully for us to work on that this year. Again, a lot of work though, and a lot of learning. Like a lot of this is a lot of learning, so that's why it takes us sometimes a little longer to get stuff out.
Well, and it's also been, like you said, a learning experience, but not just in the podcast, but also we're new moms. Mm-hmm. And so just trying to find the balance of as soon as we entered, I'm like, guys, if my eyes are red, I was out the movies and then we're going to cut this short because I got to see my son. Like we're always on a time crunch because we have our babies, we have different lives. And
there's
so
always something. No, it's so true.
We're learning to balance, but we definitely want to get better. We want to bring you guys better content. We have quite a few guests lined up and we're super excited for that. I think you guys are really going to like them. So yeah, we definitely want to expand on the pod and just keep getting better and growing. And I wonder if TikTok's gonna close because I feel like that's our main
I hope base. Not, because that's part of mine too. Like me personally, I need to get better about content and I want to start making more. And we obviously have different styles of like content that we like to do, which I think is cool. It helps like diversify the page and stuff. But as you guys can see, it's all bees. She carries us right now. So it's on my list to hopefully get better about it. But I get in my own head and then I'm like, I don't want to show too much of my life. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. Like it's hard to find that balance.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. And again, I also think because my baby's older, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like that plays a huge role. So I think now that Maddie's more mobile, I think you're going to be able to free yourself a little more. And
my gosh, one thing I can't wait for is for her to walk. And I was talking to Lisa about this. Shout out Lisa. Taking the kids to, do fun stuff like museums and Peter Piper and, whatever you want to take them to do. Like it's fine to take Maddie to do stuff now that she's crawling. But I just feel like it'll just really elevate our experience, like both hers and ours as her parents, to take her to do stuff when she can walk, because she'll feel like more independent. And I know, granted, we'll be chasing her more, but I just feel like it'll be better than having to like carry her around and, hold her up to show her stuff. Like I feel like it'll be more fun. So I'm looking forward to that in the new year too.
Yeah, speaking from experience,
she's this close.
I know she's so good. She's and I'm going to see her tomorrow. I can't wait to see the girls. Yeah. But speaking from experience, world of difference.
Yeah.
World of difference. Everything, even when they start to talk, like just such a world of difference. Everything's a new chapter and it's exciting and you appreciate every part of it. But it is nice to see them like running and playing and enjoy themselves instead of you having to carry.
Exactly. Yeah. And she's so fun now. It's so fun. But I feel like, yeah, totally. That's just going to like elevate a lot of the things that we can do. So I'm excited for that too.
Well, and then to see them having fun. Like when I see my son genuinely having fun, I'm like, oh my God, I can live here forever. Yeah, I can live here forever. We're not leaving anywhere. Get a tent, Julian. This is where we're staying.
No, so true. So let's see, what else do I have here? The typical, like you said, I always have like some typical stuff that I have on my New Year's resolutions. Church, to stay consistent with going to church. I'm pretty good about that. But
so it's funny you say that because prior to jumping on this, I was just listening to some TikToks. I'm starting to get into TikToks. Finally, It took me a year. But
right before it shuts down.
Right before. Dude, I am always like a late bloomer to everything. And so this is me, just genuine B. This is like, I finally get into it. It's going to close. Yeah, sounds about right. But anyways, a scripture came on, not trying to get all religious and biblical. We respect everyone. But it said, man plans his way, but God orders his steps. And so it was talking about resolutions. And so they're like, you can go ahead and write all your resolutions and you can go for them and you can try as hard as you want. But at the end of the day, right, your steps are ordained. And so just stay close to the word of God and it'll be good. A good year.
Love that. Yeah, love that. And that's like kind of where it ties in for me. Like exactly like you said, you can try to plan everything. And, you know, we talked about this yesterday, texting, like you can try, right? But you can't control everything. And so like you said, you know, everyone's free to their own beliefs, but like our stance is to just, you know, you kind of have to let go and let God sometimes, and you can, you know, do what you can, but there has to be something that you lean back on. And so for us, it's that. And so, yeah, church is at the top of my list here. Reading more. I try
yes,
to,
that's huge.
I try to stay on top of that too. But I I did finish maybe a couple books this year, but nothing like what I normally do. It's at least a couple books. Like, and granted, I'm not like a huge reader, but at least a couple books every, you know, month, every couple months. So no, I want to try and at least make that a daily priority too, a couple pages, because that's fallen off too.
So, and my cousin, she is trying to get us to do, like, we started like a little book club. I'm always trying to do writing and books, and you know me.
Yeah.
Poor Steph, she knows me. I bombard her with a bunch of things. I'm like, let's do this now.
But okay, it's fun. Everyone needs hobbies.
And I love it.
Yeah.
Like words and so anyways, but my cousin's trying to get us, and she's like, I'm like, I haven't had time. I've had this book over a month. I'm not even going to lie. It started so good, but with the podcast, and then I was going to say a new position, but I finally got that position, and now I'm getting moved up to another position. And so it's been a year.
Yeah.
But she's trying to get me into ebooks. Is that what they're called? Or what do they call them now?
I mean, an ebook is just like a Kindle type, like,
well, not an ebook, like the ones you hear, the audio.
Oh, audiobooks. Yeah.
And I can't do it.
I don't like audiobooks either, honestly.
I like to feel the page. I like to smell the page. I do have a terrible bad habit though. What do you use as a bookmark? I've always wondered.
Whatever I find, the turning of the dog ear or whatever I find.
I do the dog ear, yeah. I get a lot of hate for that.
But I did recently change to a Kindle this year, and I like it. I don't necessarily need like the book itself, and I had ended up with a lot of books that I hate clutter, so I just had to, like, I donated a lot of them. So I switched over to a Kindle, and I do like that. It makes it easier.
It doesn't hurt your eyes, the light. I feel like that's because we're in the computer all day. That's like my biggest fear, computer to computer. Like
no, they're fancy. It like adjusts to the room that you're in, like the lighting in the room. Yeah, so no, it's not as harsh as the computer light at all.
Did you end up getting an iPad? Remember
you
wanted
one? Yeah, for
Christmas.
Yeah, I was just messing with that downstairs before I came up here.
I was like, I freaking should have got one. I should have got one. And you're talking about reading, but some people read on their iPads, and so I wondered which one was better.
You know what I think I'm gonna like a lot is like that you can take notes on it, and I'm a pen and paper girl. You can still get, you know, your little stylus and, you know, write, but it just saves it digitally and like much more neatly than, you know, having a notebook. And you can still cross things off, and I know that that's like important to a lot of people. I like that too. So no, I think I'm really gonna like it. I just started messing with it though, so.
The crossing off feels very accomplished, like accomplishing, sure. Right? You're like, yes.
In fact, I wrote podcast for today, so when we're done, cross that off. I also have water. I'm sure you do too. We try to prioritize water. It's so important. So that's on my list
I
here.
definitely have, besides my spiritual walk, I definitely want to focus on that. That's my highest priority.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's family, exercise, my projects, but also working on myself, my mind and my heart. And of course that does go with spirituality, but yeah, focusing on myself and the things that bring me peace. And I feel like that's how we started the year, huh? We were like very gung-ho. That's kind of why we started even the podcast, because we're like, we're going to focus on ourselves.
Something for ourselves. Yeah. And I'm actually super proud of us. We made it through the whole year, guys. We only took 2 months off, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not a lot. Well, and granted, we didn't start at the beginning of the year, but we started at the beginning of the year. Like, and again, it was a learning process. So like we worked on this a while before we actually launched it in May. So really it was a year-long thing, and I'm proud of us for getting to the end of the year with it.
Wait, did we launch it in May? Oh, we did.
Yeah. May.
Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mother's Day.
Oh, so we started on a holiday. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a work in progress, and we are learning, and we're trying to get more people to hear us. So we're trying to get better.
Still learning, but it's still early, honestly. In fact, one of my cousins that I saw last week was like, "Are you still doing the podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, we are actually." He's like, "Oh, good. I was just making sure you didn't give up yet." Like, nope, we did not.
You know what? So we also ran into some friends, and she told me she puts us on. She's a hygienist, a dental hygienist. Her name is Leslie, so shout out Leslie. But she told me she listens to us in the office.
Oh, that's so nice.
I know. She's like, I'll put you guys on from time to time and, catch up. Because, I mean, they're short, right? They're short little videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, oh, girl, you're my friend for life. I'm going to mark you. Yeah,
for sure.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, for sure. A couple more, but groceries are driving me into a hole. So I'm really going to try to be more mindful of making meal plans and budgeting groceries, because it's crazy. And I'm not terrible at like shopping the pantry and the freezer, but I could be much better about it. So and I think that will help me create some content too. So I'm going to try to tie that in and work on that too.
So I think for content, and this is a little goal now that you reminded me, I want to have just a preset area, because setting up and pushing, and it's too much setting up, putting it down, setting up, and
it is hard. Yeah. It's a lot of
work. It's a lot of work. Even when for us to film here, it like takes us 15-20 minutes
just to set up.
Yeah. And so at least for the food, because I cook a lot. Like for Christmas, I did tamales and pozole, and like I love to cook. But if my thing's not set up and I'm tired, and because I'm always tired.
Yeah.
I won't film it.
And it's hard to think about it. We made a huge Christmas meal, and it was really nice, and it would have been so nice to record all of it, and like, but it's like the thing furthest from your head. So I think that's where the resolution comes in, like to just try to make it a priority, because it's fun and it's nice to post that stuff. I enjoy watching that stuff, so I'm sure other people do too,
Oh, I love watching everyone's holiday stuff. And I intended, like when we started the season, we're like, guys, get ready. We're going to have so many things to post. And I had so many meals I had planned out. Toddler meals for us, because my baby essentially eats what we eat, but his snacks are very healthy, healthier than mine. But I didn't get to do it all because I don't have a preset area. And so that is a goal I talked to my husband. He's like, just do it, B. It doesn't bother me. Nothing bothers Julian because he's
not very like project oriented too. So he gets like, okay, sure. Like, do it.
And housework, he doesn't have any. He doesn't do any housework. That's just how we work. I don't do outside work. So for anyone that has opinions, this is how we work. But so if it's inside the house, he doesn't care, because he's not going to make the mess, but he's also not going to clean it up. So he's like, you do you, girl.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Real quick before we get off, that reminds me, have you ever seen those videos where it's like when the wife opens a package inside or whatever and just goes and launches the box in the garage? Like,
that's me.
That's me too.
That's me. Like, I'm like, the garage doesn't count as part of the house.
Or the trash is like piling up 6 feet, and it's like just putting something on top.
Well, and then
not my job.
The other day we kept for Christmas, like we kept throwing things, because we recycle a lot, and then we throw trash, and like we're big on that. But we couldn't even open the door anymore. We had like put so much stuff, and I'm like, Julian, I don't like to tell him like when to clean his area, just like I don't like to be told. We're busybodies. But I was like, all right, dude, this is getting insane. We have like a mountain of like Amazon boxes and trash, and
that's just life. Everyone's house probably looks like that right now.
Yeah, seriously. And so,
but anywho, guys, thank you for listening. And if you have any New Year's resolutions, we would love to hear about them. We're into this topic, so please comment them down below.
Yeah, see you guys next time. And again, we're gonna have exciting guests coming up, and so can't wait to share that with you guys soon.
Yeah, to be Courtney. See you guys next year.
Bye.
Bye.
Living in the moment, it's the mom life.